for the ice rod, and he actually left Trinex behind. Smight was right behind him and fought Trinex, and Trinex had the hook shot for their go mode. And we are getting going right now here.
Yep.
We're seeing 2 different items here. Moon Pearl and Bomb Boosters. Just as he already having the Moon Pearl, that is a huge advantage to him. Although Smight will most likely check that race soon enough. Or Spot, rather.
I'm having a few issues with the restream. There it is. Sorry, I did not. I missed the first chest, sadly. But it looks like they're both already on different paths here.
Yes. First chest was Moon Pearl, Justin Z, and Smight with the Bomb Booster.
Oh, nice.
I got you covered there.
That Moon Pearl straight from the get-go is always pretty nice.
Just some ammo from Uncle, and it's a full magic from the pull. And a little bit of money from
the Hoarder. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to be seeing that one and the one in Lost Woods tanked, probably.
And we saw a big 20 from Smight.
Early on, not looking like it's a super generous seed here.
Oh, boy! We have a medallion at Lumberjack Cave.
Uh-oh.
That may or may not be required, so Aghanim lurking in the back of these runners' minds, at least Justin Z's.
That's got to be something. I mean, a medallion there is one of the things you definitely do not want to see.
Yes, and I believe, real quick, it was Ether. Not 100% sure.
At least that excludes that it would be required for Ice Palace. Oh, we got the book. Nice.
So now, if Justin Z was willing to go check the pedestal and figure out if this is a pedestal required seed, we could have like the full troll and have an Aghanim and a pedestal seed.
I would actually expect him to do that right here because the book is so close, and you already have seen. He's already seen the Lumberjack Cave, so.
Yes. And confirmation. And I'm just gonna get confirmation here. It is Ether.
Yep.
At Lumberjacks.
All right, it looks like Justin is not going to check the pedestal. We'll see what Smight does with this book.
I would check the pedestal. Just having that knowledge right away will influence your routing the rest of the way through this run.
Yeah, it eliminates a lot of wonder about whether, is this going to be pedestal or not? And you're so close at this point. I mean, why not? It also looks like Smight is not going to do it.
Yeah,
I don't blame them though. I mean, this is the superior routing, obviously, but yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too much of an issue though, just to go north after checking Mushroom and just go through the path that way.
It looks like so far Kakariko's coming up empty. I believe I saw a piece of heart in the tavern.
Yes, and Justin Z buying balls are now gonna head north and clean this area up. He was hoping to find a few more bombs so he could run north-south, but he's gonna have to do a zigzag through the place, go south-north, and then back south to check library.
I'll see if Smight gambles on there being. Oh, we got a map check. There's green pendant on Tower of Hera and a regular pendant on the Eastern Palace and a crystal on Desert. Interesting.
Yeah, so Desert is required, so that book will let them enter it and poke around there for a couple items.
Now, all the more reason to check the pedestal right now. Like, is Eastern going to be required or not? Will you eliminate that early bow usage and that potential double dip?
And there's 300 rubies from Justin Z. He's not going to turn that down. Zora's still available. And some more bombs.
Bombs behind the bombs.
And more bombs.
Oh!
This cave had all the bombs he could ever... That cave would have saved him so much trouble if he went there first. But, again, this is a randomizer. He had no idea. And neither do we. And we're going to see Blind's house now. And we'll see what this item gets.
I'm hoping for them to actually find something, because item-wise, they are pretty... well, they're not actually getting a lot. They got the Moon Pearl, they got the book, and that's about it. We got the location on Ether, but there's no sword, there's no hammer.
There's a Bombos medallion,
though. Okay.
But again, without a sword, they can't use it.
2 medallions located already, though.
And the red meringue.
Huh. What do you make of this? Bombos, red boomerang, book.
I don't know. I would honestly check that pedestal right away. Whenever I have early book, I tend to like checking that pedestal so I know in advance.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see what they got in the library over here.
I don't think... Did Justice Lee check the bottles merchant?
No, he did not.
Ooh. That could have his weapon. That was a really fast library check. I missed it.
I missed it too.
So I have to wait for Smight to do it. And he is just going to say, go to the race. Let's do the race.
Yeah. Interesting choice. I mean, at this point, you know that there's going to be a lot of items, but I don't know if going to the race is the... I mean, it will eliminate some time going back and forth, but yeah. We'll see what happens here.
Just vanilla piece of heart. Smight not forgetting about the black merchant though, and he has an arrow booster.
Plus 5 arrows. Didn't matter much, thankfully.
So that's a really rare seed here. We don't actually have a weapon coming out of this, and yeah, green pendant at Hera definitely required to go there at some point.
With the bomb upgrade, however, I do believe the logic accounts for that with the amount of money you get as well, that you are supposed to buy a bunch of bombs and at least blow stuff up with that, you know, giving the boomerang. You could make some plays in Hyrule.
Another fast check on the library. We don't know what's there.
I missed it.
If any Eagle Eye viewers in the chat caught it, please let us know.
Alright, here's a damn check.
Flavykins says 3 bombs. Okay, thank you. Shoutouts to Flavykins, by the way. She is our tracker, joined in the last minute.
Yeah, huge shoutouts. And we got a plus 10 bomb upgrade. Like I said, it is an indicator that you might want to stock up on those bombs and use them as your first weapon. And we got the hook shot, though. Okay.
Just invited the item that trolled them last time. But that's going to be really good, because that'll let him do instant kill these Moldorms here in Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, hookshot is also nice to get around the world a little bit quicker as well. So it's a win-win here.
Yeah, it's a nice mobility option as well, because you can grab to all the trees. It doesn't hurt to have as a weapon, but it can't. It only has 2 things. It can either stun or it can damage. And
yeah, mini Moldorms are one of the few enemies that are immediately defeated by it.
And just some health in this Moldorm cave. So our power glove though,
we got
and another bomb booster.
We got the glove, we got the hook shot, no lantern, but these runners look capable enough to make an early play on well, let's say Death Mountain here.
Yeah, an early play on Death Mountain. If they are comfortable with the dark rooms, they don't have a lantern. Yep.
Yeah.
And with the power gloves, Zor is technically in sequence, and I would not be surprised if either runner did a fake flipper to check the waterfall cave.
Yeah, it looks like Justin is actually going to Ice Rod Cave, so I imagine he will be working that in, but we'll have to see what comes out of it first.
Being very careful with these crabs, and there's the other function of the hookshot coming to play, just stunning these crabs. It does not kill them. And we have yet to see our stun price as well.
Ice Rod Cave doesn't come up with much but a piece of heart, sadly.
This seed is throwing them bomb expansions, and health. What the heck is this seed?
It's a very explosive seed, that's what it is.
We might have Aghanim No, we can't have Aghanim required, we don't have a sword yet. This is going to be very interesting.
At this point, I don't think Aghanim is going to be required, but hey, who knows? That ether could very well end up being required outside of just the Dark World access, so...
Well, keep in mind, if the medallions were not... requirements for the dungeons were not randomized, Meyer would... If Meyer was a crystal, then Aghanim would be required, because that is the vanilla crystal... vanilla medallion! I'm getting my words tied up, I'm sorry.
We're seeing the fake flipper here, indeed, from Justin. He's going to check the Lake Hylia Island here, which has nothing but a big 20. He's going straight to Hobo, see what he has to offer. And I think Smight's going to make the same play here.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, they have the Moon Pearl, so...
Now the question is, does he know how to get out of here with fake flippers? Because it is possible, and I do know a setup.
Then we'll see if you learned it. Let's see, what does the Hobo have to offer?
300 bucks. And he does know the setup. There we go. Gets it flawlessly. We're seeing the waterfall cave now, and it has a fairy in a bottle and an arrow booster.
Ah, that's our first bottle, though. So bottle kit is now in play as well.
But yes, for those of you who don't know how to do the fake flipper coming out of Hobo, it's relatively simple once you get to execution. You just go up to the pillar, give it a little hug.
Oh, it's a first sword. Oh, wow. It's on the Zora ledge.
Yes, but yes, you go up to the right pillar, you give it a little hug, walk just slightly away from it, and then hold right. You should get out of there every time. At least that's what I've done in practice.
It's not super hard to line up, especially if you use your shadow for it. It's once you learn it, there's a 3 pixel gap that is offered as leniency. So, and looks like King Zora gives nothing but a piece of heart. But that sword, though, that's the first one located. The
question is, what is it meant to be their first one in progression?
Yeah, where are those flippers?
If you want me to be honest, I think they might be hidden behind Sarasala. And it looks like Smite's going that way right now.
I hope so. I mean, the other option right now, obviously, is that desert is open with the glove and the book in tow. The only thing they would require at this point is a something of a weapon and the
a fire source, either fire rod
exactly.
Or land.
Yeah, exactly, to fully clear it. But it could very well be where they're being pointed at currently by the logic.
And the chat pointing out that Zora was indeed a scam.
We got a singular rupee. The boomerang, nice. Nice, that's both boomerangs in play. I wonder what the stun prize is. I don't think we've seen that yet, have we?
No, we have not. It'd be really hilarious if you could somehow rig it so the stun prize is just a bee swarm. That's available in the new customized options that version 8.27 gets, but these guys are running official seeds, so no making their own seeds this time.
Oh, we got a
back of the basement check, and there's a Titan's
the mitts. There's the mitts. So far,
that's actually huge because that's Dark World access.
Yep, that is immediate Dark World access right here. I'm not sure if Justin will decide to immediately make use of it. It looks like he's going to Hyrule Castle.
Yes, he hasn't checked the hidden passageway yet. And with his amount of bombs, he could try to go to Zelda Cell.
Yeah, we got the hook shot and the red boomerang for him, so it shouldn't be that hard. But then again, I mean, it's 6 bombs. Puh. You want to have more than that.
Yeah. Although I think 6 bombs is just enough to get through the 2 blue guards and the 1 red guard.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, he can afford to miss once.
Well, we got a big heart container out of EP.
Well, with the ability to stun, rather, he should have no problem.
So the first item out of Eastern Palace so far is a heart container. They already picked up the blue keys, the big keys, so we're gonna see the big chest here as well, with no dark room sequence breaking required here. But I am wondering if they will do it.
Oh, this might have an item, or they could just find the next 2 items right now.
Totally possible.
The one singular 100 ruby chest in the entire game.
Ah, that is such a bummer. Finding it early might be good though, because there's 2 more chest openings here. So, you know, the third item could be here, and it's not.
The third item is technically lamp locked.
Yep.
And we are seeing bomb strats on this side of Justin Z. Only finding a piece of heart in that first checkpoint, as I call it. Because, well, it just simply makes sense to call them guard checkpoints.
Yeah, it looks like Smight is making short work of this dark room here. Actually utilizing his hook shot to go back and forth. That's really clever.
Yes, there are pots in that room, even though you can't see it. And through there, no problem.
Yeah. As a breeze. Oh, here we got the green guard. He will go down in 1 bomb.
Yes.
Still did not pay attention to the stun prize.
It's 20 rupees.
Oh, okay. Well, they won't be using that, obviously, because they already have an insane amount.
Armos has the last item.
Yep.
And Justin Z getting a little bit of his money back, or a little bit of his investment back.
You're actually pretty happy with a find like that at this point. You'd rather have a bunch of bombs than more rupees.
But yes, we have confirmed that Eastern has an item on Armos. And Smight about to pick up their Titan Smiths. And would you go check Disappointment Cave at this point?
I would. I totally would, but not in the route that they're being set on, as in going to Kakariko and go straight there. Honestly, yeah. I would make the play for Death Mountain at this point, but hey, that's me.
I would probably make the play to check the Village of Outcast, yeah. And just as he's setting up for the Death Ward, but forgetting he has a fairy, that had to hurt a little bit.
That always hurts. It looks like he opts actually to just save and quit and not go back there for the Dark Sewer, because he is currently without a lantern, so he would have to do Dark Room navigation, and doing that without a sword, I mean, it's commendable, but it's pretty tough, especially trying to find that rat.
Actually, Dark Room is not required.
It's not.
Because did they have find the small key?
Honestly, I was not paying attention to that. I just was paying attention to the Death Warp. So I figured he had the intel there.
Well, if they go up the Aghanim, we'll know. But for now, let's just focus on what they're doing here.
Yeah, Smight is going for Death Mountain.
That is a risky play.
Yeah, make short work of those Dark Rooms, saves the old man. I wouldn't call it a real risky play, by the way, because you do get the teleport point here up to the mountain. And if you're learned in the ways of the Dark World leading up to the Dark Rooms up to Death Mountain, it's not a huge time investment.
Well, yes. However, everything here is a sequence break, and doesn't necessarily mean that they should follow the logic over here.
That's totally true. That's totally true. All the more reason to go here, because you want to exclude that Aghanim possibility, obviously, with the Ether, and they're still looking for a sword as well.
Yes. I seem to be being called here. I'll be right back.
Sure. It looks like nothing came out of Aghanim's cave, and Justin is going to check the ledge with us. Nothing but a big 20. And Smight is going to go over to East Death Mountain. There are so many items to check here, especially with that hook shot and the mitts, that he can check. I believe it's like a grand total of
8 items.
I think it's even more, because he can do the hookshot cave too.
Oh yeah, you're right. But on Light World alone, there's 8 items. The 7 that are in this cave, what we call Paradox Cave.
Ah, okay.
And then the
Spiral Cave.
And the one chest Spiral Cave. They can also technically check the floating island, but that I consider part of the Dark World, because that's how you get there.
It still gives them the information on whether they actually require the mirror or not. So it is a good gain on info here, and especially like the item density here is huge. So being able to get that play in early and being able to clear all of it is actually pretty huge. And so far, Desert is coming up empty.
Half magic on Smite's end.
Nothing in the Light World on Death Mountain, at least, but a lot of health. And we got the flute. Oh, wow. We got the flute.
That is very nice.
That means Death Mountain is no longer a sequence break.
Yes, now everything Smight just got is now on sequence because of that flute.
Yeah, Smight won't know that, however, but then again, at the same time, he hasn't found anything yet. And it looks like there's a bug net on the floating island.
I barely caught it. I didn't want to say anything about it.
It was a bug net.
And just to see, going to activate the flutes, which, well, I hope the chat knows what that means. It's time to get your swag ducks out.
Yeah, at this point, you gotta wonder, like, what are you hoping to find? Because East Death Mountain so far is coming up completely empty, and it's nothing but love here.
Yeah, it's going to completely empties, which is sort of pushing them towards potentially maybe Aghanim or even Pedestal. But then again, we still have all of Dark World to check, starting with Dark Death Mountain. And the bottle also wasn't checked.
Even more rupees. Oh, wow.
And Smight getting dead-rocked.
Our heroes weren't wealthy enough yet.
Yes, Justin Z is now set for money at this point. He has everything he needs. He's gonna buy some bombs, which is smart. Got a map check here. Pendant Ice!
Oh, nice.
Oh, let's hope there's nothing required in there, because I'll just say it, no one likes Pendant Ice.
What were the 5 and 6 dungeons, though?
I think I saw Swamp Palace as one of them.
Okay. It looks like the tracker's catching up here. Pod is one of them, and Swamp Palace. Okay, interesting. Interesting.
So, the mirror is still at large, and that is required. And...
bombs and a blue rupee.
Now we can start trying to decipher what is on that pedestal that they have not checked yet. Fire Rod is right up there as one of the items, because they do have the Bombus Medallion for Ice Palace.
There are quite a few possibilities, indeed.
Yes.
The only thing that is currently really ruled out, I guess, would be the bow.
Hammer. Hammer cannot be up there because Ice Palace requires hammer.
Oh, there's a Fire Rod. Immediately finds it.
Yeah, so we don't have to worry about Fire Rod. Ice Rod can be a pedestal, though.
So this is actually pretty big. Picking up that Fire Rod there and having access to the Dark World, making that the transition later.
Oh, and we're getting a medallion check.
Yep.
Let's see.
Oh, is it Ether?
It is Quake.
It's Quake. Vanilla. But yeah, getting that Fire Rod there actually allows them to go to Skullwoods. So that is more access here to the Dark World than you thought you would initially have with just the Myths and the Moon Pearl here. I'm pretty excited.
And folks, I just want to remind you that we do not know what medallion is Misery Mire yet, even though Justice Z has the means to check it. If it is Ether, then this is an Aghanim required seed because Lumberjack Cave has Ether.
And Vanilla because Total Rock requires Quake, so they would both require their original pendants or medallions.
Yes.
All right, here we go. We're gonna see what Smight makes the play on. Is it gonna be just the Dark World cleanup, or?
I would assume...
oh, he's gonna check his bottle first, right?
Yes, and get his 300 rupees. And we have yet to see a lot of items. There is something else that could be at Pedestal as well that can be really trolly to these runners. And I've had it before.
Don't say the Quake medallion.
The Cane of Samaria.
Ah, Samaria. Yeah, it could be.
So until they do that check, we will not know.
Alright, looks like Smight is going into the Village of Outcasts and clean this place up. It is pretty tough. I mean, 23 minutes in, not a single sword found yet. No way to kill blind.
Well, there was a sword found, but they don't have the flippers to get to it.
Exactly. So do you make the play on Thieves Town or not?
It's a crystal. I would probably take care of it because Smight does have blue mail. It was in Hookshot Cave.
I have 50 rupees from the Sea House. Not a big payoff here.
Yeah, I would go into the Thieves Town and gamble that the big chest has the dungeon item in it.
I think I would too, honestly. You want to see at least at the very minimum a cane of burnout, just so you can kill blind.
Otherwise, you'd have to do. I think Fire Rod actually works. Any damage works on blind, but it's still 9 hits.
Oh, I had no idea about the Fire Rod actually.
Yeah, his damage is fixed. So he'll take 9 hits from any source regardless.
Okay.
And the reason why the cane works is because it does fighter sword damage, and you can fighter sword damage blind.
I know you can damage him with the cane of Samaria, cane of Burna, and the hammer as well, yeah.
So Mario's shots also deal fighter sword damage, so that makes sense.
Okay.
We're seeing a digging
The
here
digging
for Smight,
game.
and it's just for an arrow booster. The 10 arrow booster, though.
Stop picking it up. I don't blame him. He's already on 35 arrows.
Yeah, 35 arrows is really good. Although, because we do have to fight Vitreous, if they want to do arrow shots, they probably want to pick up a few more quivers.
Yeah, especially at this point since they're sword starved.
Yes. And Stumpy has 20 rubies.
The big 20.
And Justin C is going to realize that it is Quake at Turtle Rock, and Turtle Rock is required. He can't quite get into it though, but he will be picking up his blue mail shortly.
It looks like Smight is going for the item density plays here, and he is going to, well, form the cave formerly known as Hype Cave.
Yes, it has since tapered off in its hypeness, but let's see if it can relive its former glory today.
It needs to have something. It needs to have something just to let them go further here.
And the NPC has
Another heart container.
And we also got another heart container. A piece of heart. Another heart container.
It's the Cave of Love.
And the Fisher Price shield.
It's the Cave of Love.
That is terrible.
That is pretty bad. I mean, the only thing they can do right now is, oh, it looks like Smight is actually finally gonna make the play on Desert here.
That's Justin Z, but yes.
I think Smight is actually going to Desert here.
Yes.
Justin is going to the Mire Shed.
It's Ether! We have a required!
Oh, God, I missed it. That's so good, though. Aghanim required. Oh, boy.
It's Aghanim required, and there's the mirror.
Oh, dude, the mirror. Nice.
You can check Checkerboard Cave.
Nice.
But they cannot do Aghanim just yet because they do not have anything to go up that mountain. And that is Aga Tower.
Yeah,
they need a sword.
Need the lantern. They're gonna need a sword.
They need at least one sword and the lamp. The other item they need is either the sword upgrade, which they know where one is, or the magic cape.
All right, here we go. Checkerboard Cave. What do you have?
The magic powder.
Magic powder.
That is gonna be pretty good.
Ah, that's always good, especially with the half magic in play as well. I mean, they have all the magic that they require pretty much. What an interesting seed so far.
Yes, they are. Just as he now knows that Agnes required, he's gonna be frantically looking everywhere for a sword. But do we have an all bosses goal? He remembers the merchant, and is he going to go? No, he's going to the Skull Woods. It looks like either that or checking the Thieves Down area.
Yeah, we'll see if he makes the play on the Southern Death or Dark World first, but he is making the smart play and going into Skullwoods here. As we know, there was nothing in the Southern Dark World so far, so.
And Smight entering Desert, he will be getting his flute shortly. It's on the right side.
Yeah, I think we're going to see something major out of Skullwoods. Let's see. First chest, big key. Okay.
Yes. And this works out for Justin Z because even though he can't fully... Oh, he can full clear this dungeon,
He can full clear it. He can full clear it.
And with half
oh, no, wait, he can't. No, he doesn't have a sword for the vines on the way to Mothula. No.
Oh, you're right. I completely
he needs a sword.
That.
Yeah.
So
it's so easy to forget, though.
He's gambling on a sword.
I think it might have one. I think it might have one.
And there's the food on Smite's end. He's going to be happy with that. He's most likely going to go to Mire and realize that this is anger required as well.
Justin did the hookshot clip there. Through the blocks, there's 1 pixel through which you can hookshot through the spikes and the blocks. That is so hard to do. So far, nothing in Skull.
The big chest can be checked. Really hard to set up this ball jump without a sword. Gets it done. Really nicely done. Just a small key.
Another key. It looks like he wanted to use his mirror, but remembered that he dropped in through the outside, so it's definitely not something you want to do. But he will go in deeper.
Australia pedestal has not been checked yet, and they found book and mushroom, so neither player has checked it, despite having the early capability to do so.
Yeah, Justin did pick up the mirror earlier, though, so it's very likely he will finally check it, especially with the knowledge that ether is required.
And ether is required because Aghanim is required. Aghanim is guarding ether at Lumberjack Cave. That also means they need to find the boots as well at some point.
Yep.
This will not be boots.
Wow, both items in Skull Woods on the
in the Mothula section.
Yeah. So he can get one of 2 items out of Skull Woods, because the other one he would require a sword.
I will laugh, by the way, if the first item he finds in that chest is a sword, and he I don't know what he would get from Mothula at that point, but I want to see a sword in that first chest.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool.
Smight grabbing his mirror. And not a lot of people know there's a couple pots underneath these, underneath that bridge.
They actually have hearts underneath them as well.
And
all right, here we go.
And there's Smight realizing it.
It's a lantern! Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah. Huh.
Well, that actually is important.
It is, but what is a Dark World location or a Dark Room location right now that they haven't checked that they do have access to?
Oh, here's the pedestal check. Here's the pedestal check. Gets a hype ready. Oh, it's just arrow storage. Oh, okay. So this is just gonna be a simple Aghanim required seed. But that lamp is huge for Justin Z all the same, because they needed to climb Aga Tower.
Looks like Justin remembers that he has the flute, and will opt to flute back to probably Kakariko to enter the Dark World rather than walk all the way here. And Smite's gonna make the same play. I imagine he will be going to Skull Woods here.
No, it's not that far of a walk to get all the way over there.
Oh, he's not going for it.
Yeah, he's not going for that because I don't think he's wanting to fight the moth. He knows he doesn't have a sword. I think Smight is actually trying to find the flippers.
Huh. Where is he going though?
He doesn't check Sea House, I don't think. Oh, he does.
He already did this.
Oh,
he already did the entire shuffle, so he only has thieves down in Skull Woods.
I think he's a little lost.
Oh. Is he going for the dwarf then?
Dwarf would be something that both runners could do.
There we go. Yeah, that's what he wanted to do. Because he has that mirror, so he can immediately turn it in and then afterwards grab the purple chest as well.
Also, he can check Magic Bat, but that would also make him lose his portal.
Yep.
So, a few options here for Smight. Let's see if any of them pay out. Meanwhile, Justin Z trolled us a little bit there. I thought he was going to enter Thieves Town.
I was so ready for it. I was like, finally, we're going to see the inside, but not yet. He's going to get his 50 rupees here first. The dwarves have a big 20.
Yes, only giving Smight 10 rupees in actuality.
It's the counterfeiters. Give him 10, get 20 back. We'll see if Smight actually sets up for the...
Yeah, he's doing it right.
Yeah.
He's taking the chest with him.
He's not pressing A. That's a good thing. So a lot of people have sometimes see them press A on that ledge to get a quick jump. You leave your chest behind. You're going to have a bad day. Yeah. These runners are more than capable, however, so I have no cause for worry here.
And just 20 rupees on this bat.
Yeah, feels bat, man.
I think Justin Z's about to head over to the digging game. We already know that it's just an arrow booster.
Yep, we'll see if he picks it up or not. If that juicy plus 10 arrow capacity, I mean, I'd personally pick it up.
And Smight fluting with the chest. Smart play considering he doesn't have his portal. And what is in the purple chest? Another 20 rubies! The entire Blacksmith route was completely pointless.
Wow, they're going to find every single rupee in the game before they find a sword, huh? Before they get access to one, I should say.
That would be kind of a big challenge because I know for a fact there are 28 red rubies in the game.
Ah, well, we've already seen at least 5, so
Yes.
yeah, we're probably gonna see a sword first.
Yeah. I mean, we've already seen a sword. It's at Zora, but we need to find those flippers to get it.
See them wield a sword then.
And there we go.
Thieves Town.
Finally, Smight entering Thieves Town.
At this point, there aren't any other options, I believe, outside of taking the long way around to go to Pod. Is that even possible? No, they don't have the flippers.
That is not possible. So they might not even have to. So Aghanim not being required for Ether aside, they might have to fight Aghanim just to get to Pod.
Yeah. So it's very likely we're gonna see the flippers here then, I guess.
20 rupees there, and I believe the first chest was the big key. Someone pointing out, Time Stalker in chat's pointing out that Hera is also on the table, and they do have the means to reach it, but no weapon to kill Trolldorm.
That is true. That is true. Hera is in play indeed.
And just as he getting his curse of 20 rupees.
Yeah, so far Thieves Town coming up empty, but there's got to be something here.
Zelda, I would say that Zelda, I would say that Justin Z is ahead with a lamp because we have an Aghanim required seed. We know this because Lumberjack Cave has ether, and Meyer needs ether to be entered.
It looks like Justin is going to take his lantern into the back end of Escape here.
Yes, and we can confirm here. Oh, that is a huge mistake. They don't have a key down here. They've checked the backside, they've checked the front side. The only item that's left is the small key.
Right, you're right. You're right. That's absolutely right.
So he's wasting a little bit of time here.
Yeah, he can't go to Aghanim either because no swords, so...
Not only that,
this is a bit of a waste.
He needs either the level 2 sword or the cape to get past the barrier, and he has neither. Yep. So it's time to dip into dungeons, folks.
All right, this has got to be something, right? It's a bottle.
We have a B bottle.
Nah, come on. Is it gonna be Hera? Oh, it looks like Justin is actually making his way to Hera.
Yeah, I think Hera would be the right call here. He has both fire sources. And with half magic, actually also land molas are on the table for something potentially.
Yeah, that's true.
We only saw did we see both items out of Desert actually?
As far as I know, I only saw the flute, but... Oh, they didn't get the big key, did they? The big key was on the torch.
Oh, Lamos was boots locked.
Yeah.
All right. And Justin Z's having a little bit of awareness here. There is that tablet over here. He doesn't have the means to open it, but just pocket change.
Oh, we got the cape. Oh, we got the cape. Cape in Thieves Town.
Maidens just has the cape. And I just want to point out here that the pocket change is a 1 ruby or a blue, is a green or a blue rupee, so not really worth it. But combined, these two both found it. So
oh, there's the sword.
It's
in Hera. The sword is in Hera, and the cape is in Thieves Town. No way.
And the lamp is in Skullwood. They have to go to 3 different dungeons.
Oh my!
To get everything they need to fight.
Wow, this is literally just to create an access point to Misery Mire. Are you kidding me?
Now here's the thing: Justin Z does not necessarily need the cape to get in to fight Aghanim. He can find a second sword somewhere in the world, and I don't think either of these runners have checked the mirror ledges yet.
I do believe they have not, indeed. Yeah, those are still in play at this point.
But I think with that sword, Justin Z is absolutely going to go kill the moth. Yep.
Yeah, it looks like he gave up on. It looks like Smight actually gave up on blind. He tried using the fire rod, but it didn't seem to do any damage to it.
I might have been mistaken with that then.
But Smight will find his lamp, thankfully, at least, so that'll put him back in this race a bit.
Yes, and then with the lamp, he'll be checking. We have to hope that he checks the mountain, because right now, it all comes down to where either the second sword is, or if Justin C finds the second sword here.
I have to say, though, I find Justin's play to immediately warp out of Hera a little bit awkward, because it is a green pendant dungeon, so not opting to find that second item nor going for the potential Sahasrahla item there is a bit of a gamble, and I must think they're kind of behind, but yeah.
Yeah, that's a strange play indeed. I would have full cleared Hera at that point with a sword.
Definitely.
Wouldn't be too much a waste of time, and if you get and if there's another required item there, he's taking a huge risk.
Yeah, he must be gambling full on Mothula having something here. Either that or I imagine he intends to go back, but...
He's using the lamp turn strats here, but he's being way too conservative here. He could just almost all these Gyptos.
Yeah, that is a possibility right now. That is a possibility.
There's the sword block.
Speaking of which, if they wanted to, they could actually get into Ice Palace right now as well, fake flippering their way up there.
Everything in there would be a sequence break, though.
Yep. It looks like we're gonna see the Fire Rod and Half Magic full in play here against taking a bit of damage. This fight is always quite hard, just with how much stuff is going on the screen here.
Yes, and with Mothula not taking damage from the spikes, you have to really position your shots well. But the moth is down.
There we go.
What is the second item in this place? It's the flippers!
Oh no! Oh, this is gonna put Smight behind so much here. Wow.
But you know what this means? That means Justin Z does not need to head into Thieves Town to get the cape in the main chest. He can go get the sword from the Zor ledge.
Yeah, he can get his Master Sword. And he knows about Ether. He knows about everything right now. So will we see him do that, yes or no? He seems to be not entirely sure what he wants to do here, but...
I think he might be going into...
Yeah, he's going to flute his way out.
Yes. And stopping by the town, I think he's going to go deal with blind.
Okay.
Smight, meanwhile, doing his pedestal check, realizing soon enough that it's just increased arrow storage, low price.
Well, at the start of the seed, you said we'd hope it'd be a little bit of a trolly seed, but I don't think it gets more trolly than this, does it?
Yo, yeah. I mean, I did call the Aghanim required, but it wasn't the right kind of Aghanim required.
This is like entire world required to get to Aghanim. 3 items in different dungeons just to get to Aghanim. That is, I've never seen this before.
Yes. This is what I would be calling an instance 1, in which there's a required item at the Lumberjacks. Instance 2 is just straight up no access to Dark World, and instance 3 is no access to Pod.
I think this might be the worst one that I've ever seen.
Yeah, this is like the worst Lumberjack required that I've ever seen.
Yep. We'll see what.
Although I think I had a chain one time, in which I had like 5 different dungeons just for the bow.
Ugh. You gotta love those.
But that was a while ago. But again, let's focus on these artists here. Smight going into the. Is he going to Aghanim?
I think he is. He knows he's got to go. No, he's not. Wait, what has he done? Not on Hyrule yet?
Oh, he hasn't done the back of Escape yet.
Oh, okay. I am indeed right now confused on who has a sword or not. It's only Justin, right?
Yeah, it's only
right.
Justin. Smight knows that there's a sword on Zor Ledge, but doesn't know where the flippers are.
Right. Yeah, he's probably not expecting the seed to be as trolly as it is, and he probably thinks he forgot something at Hyrule Castle, you know, making the play here a little bit late, but yeah, he's not going to get rewarded for this, sadly. So at
Yes.
least he doesn't have to doubt himself in the plays that he made, because he was doing the right thing. But as we've said, the seed has been exceptionally trolly when it comes to the Aghanim required items such as the sword and the
Just to
cape and
refresh
all
my
that.
own memory here, Seven Sins.
Mhm.
Have we seen the map in Thieves Town yet?
I don't know if Blind has an item. No idea.
I'm more
Is this-
concerned about the chest having an item.
Yeah, this is a 50-50 on the big chest or Blind. I don't know. So it's got to be a 50-50 because we know Smight couldn't get the big chest, nor could he kill Blind. So there is a potential progression item here as well.
Yes.
That again, Justin might have access to, but Smight might not.
And there's that bee. We don't even know if it's a good bee or not. They've since marked the bottles, but I don't think it's on acquirement. It's on the menu.
Look like Smight is also going to make the same play to the back of Escape, and we know that there's a key there. And he hasn't deduced this himself either. Don't blame him for it, because this seed has been insanely weird.
Yes. Yes, there's no doubt about it. This is a really weird one to commentate, too.
Yeah. So at this point, the only thing we can hope for, obviously, is that Justin does not find a major item on Blind here, because Smite has been in there, could not kill Blind.
He's already going to be a leg up because of this. Although, Ether, I just realized, unless Blind has the boot specifically, and not another random item, there's a fourth location out there that makes it so they need to get into Mire. Because Lumberjack Cave, if you recall, is not just Aghanim locked.
Oh, you need the boots to break the tree. Oh boy.
Yes, we almost forgot about that.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. I was like, oh yeah, we're going to Mire in the next 10 minutes, but no, we're not. You're right. We need the boots too.
So everything in the southwest region of Hyrule is boots locked to some degree.
Wow. So what does that leave open? Aghanim into pod? Catfish?
One would have to assume that it has to be over in East Death Mountain, or East Dark World. Locations, I get them confused. East Dark World has something. It has.
We got a big 20 from Blind. We got a big 20. Yeah, so Justin made short work of Blind there, by the way. I totally want to commend him on that.
So that confirms it. Unless Hera had the boots, there's yet another dungeon out there.
Yeah, it looks like skipping out on Hera here was potentially a mistake, depending on what we find on these overworld mirror locations. That Smite is going to check us the graveyard ledge here.
Well, it could still have something important regardless.
Definitely. We found the mirror in the Mire shed, so this is very likely to be a location that has something if Hera doesn't.
And there's a sword!
Nice!
And there's a sword for Smite!
Nice. So that's our third sword that we've located so far, then.
Yes. Combined, we know where the location of 3 swords are. One is at Zora Ledge, but you need to fight Mafia for it. One is in the Tower of Hera. And one...
Oh, it looks like Smite is going for Mothra.
Oh yeah, he's going to absolutely go for Mothra and get that flipper, which means he knows that he has Master Sword and will have access to Aghanim.
We're getting our mirror ledge check here on the what do you call this cave?
I just call it Grove Ledge.
Okay.
The cave actually doesn't have a name when you look in the customizer.
All right, so it says south of Grove. Oh, okay. I missed the item in there, but it can't have been of much value.
Yeah, it was just 3 bombs.
Have we actually seen a bumper cave check, by the way?
I don't think we have, no.
Ah.
But just to give everyone a recap here, we have an Aghanim required seed in the form of Ether. We have found swords in Graveyard Ledge, Tower Hera, basement, there's one solitary room in the basement, and also at Zora Ledge. There, I said that twice, didn't I? Regardless, we also have the lamp at Skullwoods and the cave here in Thieves Town. We do not know where the boots are.
We have no idea. And at this point, it's anyone's guess because, I'll be honest with you, they could very well be on the pyramid,
And
as they could be in Pod.
And all of this is just so we can enter Crystal Mire.
Yep. It's all for that ether medallion.
This is a roller coaster to see. Strap in, guys. We're going to be here a little while.
Justin's going to be a little bit disappointed, but turning in his chest is going to be going to come up quite empty here with nothing but a big 20. But I hope at some point he will take the cue to go back to Hera, because I am vastly under the impression there's going to be something there.
We're getting a Bombos check, actually.
Perfect.
And it is just
Couch cash.
That is either the big 20 or the big 50.
So nothing on ether, nothing on Bombos, nothing on the pedestal. But the book was good for the flute, at least.
Yes. And also, I want to point out, we do have access to Pod right now. Because of the flipper pickup on Justin Z's part.
Oh, that's true. They don't even have to kill Aghanim for it, yeah.
But they still need to kill Aghanim for access to...
For ether. They might as well. Yeah, there's absolutely no point to, like, avoid it at this point anymore.
Yeah, I think they're going to wait.
Looks like Justin was going to try to go into Swamp, but he's opting not to.
He doesn't have the hammer.
He could go for the first chest, which is kind of a heavy time investment, but...
Well,
are we going to see Ice Palace here?
Ice Palace would be a huge risk because that's also hammer locked to some degree. No, he's going to Zora. I think he remembered that there was a sword on Zora Ledge, so he's going to pick up his tempered, or Master Sword rather.
Yeah.
And depending on where he checks next, he might have Tempered Sword, and I don't think Smight will ever go to Hera.
I don't know if he will. At this point, he is more than capable of clearing Aghanim, obviously. And again, you know, as we've been saying, it's just a matter of time who goes there first.
Oh, I'm talking way ahead here with the Ganon fight. Tempered Sword versus Master Sword is just a huge advantage.
That's true. But yeah, what are the odds of Justin actually going to the graveyard ledge to grab his Tempered Sword?
Considering he doesn't have a hammer, pretty likely. He still needs that, so he's going to keep looking.
Okay.
And he also still needs the bow.
And there we go. Smite's going for Aghanim. Just get that out of the way now.
Yes. I mean, I think Justin Z is going to wait until he has the ability to clear Mire, which is not actually a bad idea. And this also helps him out for two other reasons. One is that he doesn't have to worry about safe quitting on the overworld. And he also doesn't...
So Smight is actually going to Hera. That's pretty much against all odds here. I was not expecting this.
Yes, I think Smight realizes it too, that going to Hera is kind of a niche thing.
Yeah.
Finally gets his blue boomerang there.
A bit of a letdown for Justin here, because he could have been turning in his green pendant had he cleared Hera at this point.
Yes, we're going to see if that was a bad idea. Oh, that's right. They don't even need to worry about Aghanim right now.
They have plenty of plays, but Aghanim is just required for that Ether Medallion, and they know it.
They're waiting for boots.
They're waiting for boots. Okay.
Because even if they fight Aghanim, there's no real point to it if they can't get to Ether.
Hmm.
So they're going to wait until they have the means to collect the reward.
I definitely don't disagree with it.
Smight about to pick up their Master Sword. And again, he knows where a third sword is if he wants to go get it.
And he most probably will actually do that. Let's see what we get here. It's a key, so he has to go down.
And that's probably why Justin Z left. It was basement required. Did not want to waste time.
Yeah. I don't know, 2 additional items in here, I would not find a time waste, in my opinion, but that is, again, with the green pendant in play, it's just a double payoff here.
Yes. And Justin Z clearing out Eastern. We already know what's there because Smight went there early on. The seed is starting to whittle down, but we still don't know where the bow, the hammer, or the ice rod is, or the cane of Samaria.
Yep, nor the Quake Medallion.
Yes, the Quake Medallion is also required. That is the medallion for Turtle Rock. So
yeah, there's quite a few items they still need to piece together here before we could see any real, you know, dungeon cleanup and progression. So far, they're 55 minutes in, and they've only been able to clear 2 dungeons.
Yes, this is going to be a long one.
All right, let's see what we find here in the...
I was pointing out that it was Sanctuary Heart in Eastern Palace. Thank you.
That's important.
Yeah. I think one of the racers actually found Sank Heart somewhat dangerous in Ganon's Tower, and it was actually kind of a nice heal.
Yeah, you're always happy when you find that when you're low HP.
I want to say it was actually right after they fought Ice Armos, so that's nice. Really good time.
Yeah.
The second item, not in that chest.
Just the compass. So it's going to be either a Moldorm or the big chest. So I imagine he will drop in the gap here to go and open the big chest, seeing as he does have the big key.
Yeah, I would not deny this play at all. There's the second item, 20 rubies.
So big 20.
So far, Justin C's gamble to leave Hera unfinished is paying off, but we don't know what the medallion is. Or the pendant
that green
is,
pendant. That green pendant could be huge.
Yes, the green pendant could be huge.
If it's a hammer, then Smight literally pulls ahead by quite a bit here.
Yes. And we don't know where that bow is, and with the changes to version 8.27, they have fixed the logic in the Palace of Darkness, so the bow could be all the way down there in the depths.
It could be all the way in the back. I'm actually really happy they made that change. It really opened up Pod to be more, you know, somebody you want to go, is this an Ice Palace play by Justin?
Oh boy, it is.
Oh, wow.
He has more than enough magic to get through here, and the Master Sword.
I mean, the game did give them bombos. He knows it's not required for either dungeon, so it could be a crumb, you know? It could be one of those breadcrumbs that everyone tries to follow, so...
I think Smight is going to check the pedest. Oh, I see why he did this.
He's going to Aghanim, I think.
Yeah, he's going to Aghanim.
He is another one of those enemies that can be killed with the hook shot. These enemies are actually really annoying if you don't have a tempered sword, but the hook shot will one-shot them.
You know what also one-shots them?
Quake.
Yes, but there's a stipulation to it.
Oh.
You see when they jump right there?
Right.
If they're in that middle of that jumping state, they don't get affected by Quake.
Are you kidding?
I'm not. They have to be on the ground.
That is awesome. That is a really cool detail.
Yes, it is. And yes, we are seeing the Aghanim Tower climb from Smight. He cannot get his flippers just yet. Or not the flippers. He cannot get his Ether Medallion just yet. But he is setting up for when he finds the boots.
Yeah, well, we all know it's required at this point. It's just a matter of, you know, there are a couple of benefits that you can do to Aghanim. There's not just you have to do it, right? But it's also something you've done so many times before. So you can use this opportunity to think, hey, you know, I've been here, I've been there. What is a good routing option after I'm done with this?
Oh, wait a minute. I wonder, does Smight not know that he can get to the pod via the boost, and that's why he's doing Hera now?
I
Or-
no
or-
idea.
Or tower now, because you can actually swim over to the Piles of Darkness coastline.
Yeah, but it'd be a waste of time because you have to kill Aghanim anyway. So why not pull out that, why not pull out that Splendor right now and just get it over with?
I'm not denying that. But if he's heading here just to get to Pod, it's a little inefficient. I'm just saying I would personally have saved going out to Aghanim when I have the boots and can get Ether and just go straight to Ice from there. Or not Ice, Mire. Jeez, I'm getting my dungeons mixed up.
Yeah, he's making great use of that fire rod here, by the way. I absolutely love this. I personally always forget about it. Like when you're in here and you have the fire rod, everything gets one-shotted by. You have that half magic, use it to your advantage, and he does.
We have MS Metroid asking if this is a pedestal seed. It is not a pedestal seed, but this is an Aga required seed. Aghanim is guarding Ether at the Lumberjacks, and it is required to enter Mire.
We're gonna get our first item here, which is a big 20, sadly. Yeah, a lot of the chests in Ice Palace are hammer locked, so he only has access to, I believe it is one more, depending on whether he finds the big key, but even then, it would end up being the same result, so.
Someone is asking how you would know if Aghanim is required. There are 3 instances of it that I like to call. The first instance is Lumberjack Cave, if it has a required item. In this case, it is a required item, so they have to go to kill Aghanim here at the tower, in which Smight is beginning his fight. The other 2 instances are Dark World access. You have only one way to get into Dark World, and that's through Aghanim, because he pulls you to the Dark World after you defeat him. The third instance is Aghanim specifically pulls you over to the east side of Dark World where Piles of Darkness is. If you do not have a means to reach it from outside, like say through the hammer pegs or through the waterways, you have to fight Aghanim to reach this area. So 3 required instances of Aghanim. Or 3 instances of required Aghanim right there. In this case, we're dealing with the first. Lumberjack Cave having a required item.
Yeah, this is one of the most trolly iterations of an Aghanim requirement as well, because of the way that the logic is currently set up. We require the Ether Medallion to go into Misery Mire, but the Ether Medallion is not only locked behind the Lumberjack Cave itself is locked behind Boots, which we have not located yet. So it's pretty mean. You don't have any direct gain out of beating Aghanim right now, but it is a Splinter that you do need to pull out at some point.
In some cases, though, Ether is not required, but in this case it is. It is one of the medallions you need to enter a dungeon. But if it's something like Hammer at Lumberjack Cave, that is at 100% required. You cannot avoid not having it.
Oh, this might be a key. Let's hope not.
It's
a map. That's even worse. Yeah, he can't progress anymore because he doesn't have the hammer, but Justin does not know this yet. But this room is sadly incompletable. 2 chests are locked behind that, as well as Colts there, so Ice Palace is a bust.
And someone is also reminding me of there being a very niche 4th instance involving the Fat Fairy Bomb.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because you cannot take it to the pyramid without the hammer.
Yeah, if you killed Aghanim, you can, yeah. Granted, you also have the mirror, obviously.
Oh, yes. But you could, even if with the flippers, you can't take the bomb swimming because the bomb will just be left on the cliff behind you when you jump.
Yep. All right, we're gonna get a catfish check here. Let's see, what does he got?
Catfish has
a whole bunch of nothing. And looks like Smight will indeed go and pick up his Tempered Sword. I really love this routing option here. Working in Catfish, Aghanim into Catfish into Tempered Sword.
And we did just now get a rubber cape check. It is just 10 arrows.
Ah! Yeah, that cape was in play, but no longer is it. Still very handy with the half magic.
Oh, more so, it's actually useful in that final room before in Ganon's tower before you reach Aghanim 2.
Oh, those mini Helmasaurs, they're so bad with the bumpers around.
And the conveyor belts, it's just a nightmare. I just I just throw the cape on, and if I have boots, I dash through.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I do the exact same thing. And then we go tempered for Smight.
And it also works out because you have the cape equipped for the Ganon fight, which can help you deal with the second phase. So it saves you a little bit of menuing.
Hopefully we're going to see Smight go to pod here, and I think he will.
Justin Z is checking Graveyard Ledge and getting his tempered sword now. They both have all 3 swords we have found.
Nice. I was not expecting Justin to actually go that route. That is, I'm glad he worked that in, because tempered versus Master Sword, as you mentioned earlier, especially in the Ganon fight, is a huge difference in time invested.
Oh, especially because they don't have silver arrows yet. And
they don't even have a bow.
Let me all give you guys a quick recap of what we need to finish the sea. We need the bow. We do not need the silver arrows because they have tempered sword, although it would be nice to have. They need the boots because desert is key locked. Big key is on torch. They need the ice rod because Trinex is required. They need the other 2 medallions because it's, oddly enough, vanilla.
Yeah.
They need the Cane of Samaria, and they need the hammer. A lot of items are missing.
Another excellent routing decision here by Smight, by the way, who did not go to Hobo, worked it into his route on the way to pod, coming out of Aghanim. This is a really, really, really good routing here.
Yes, excellent routing, and he's still swimming.
Okay. He's probably gonna pick up whatever is on the Hylia Island, but yeah.
I don't think he checked Hylia Island. He went straight to Zora. He's gonna be slightly disappointed because I believe that is just for 20 rubies. Yes, it is.
And that it was.
And
oh
Smight
no.
Going.
Oh no. Oh, he's doing it. Oh no, this is good for Justin though. This is good for Justin.
I missed what the other 2 items there were though in Ice Palace.
It was nothing. There were no items. He couldn't get to any of them. They were all hammer locked.
All right.
They're all hammer locked, so he's not gonna find anything in Ice Palace. So this actually pulls Justin back into the race because that was a huge loss for him. So it's basically at this point the first one to go to pod.
Yeah.
They will find a major item there.
Yeah, pod for progression at this point. There is no other location left.
It looks like Justin will go to pod here. He has already checked Hobo, so there's no reason for him to jump into the water and mirror out.
Not only is Dark Palace the place to check because it has 5 items, none of those items are hammer locked. It's just the item. It's just getting to the boss that's hammer locked.
Yeah. I'm actually really surprised by this play by Smight. He is the one that did kill Moldorm. He is the one that has the green pendant. He is the one that gets 1 additional item on the way to pod. Deciding to go to Ice Palace, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, but we're about to see Kiki the monkey charge you 10 rupees to escort them, and pay 100 to open up piles of darkness, in which Justin Z will be the first to check. Now you have to guard the monkey, by the way. It's not a free ride. If you get hit, he runs away, and you have to pay him another 10 rupees.
Oh yeah, he'll take all your money.
Better than your life.
All the 5 items that are waiting for you in pod.
Yes, the first item is a small key, so they are not bow locked.
Nope. That's I guess we already knew that, but yeah, that is the decider there. They have I don't want to say full access to pod. Depending on how you route this, you could, but the logic will adjust for it.
I think the bow has to be in here.
There has to be either a hammer or a bow. Yeah, the hammer would be a huge find here as well, but.
I mean, we can go with the troll thing and say the hammer's in here and the bow's in Swamp Palace.
Hey, it's possible. I've seen worse. I've seen this seed.
Justin Z doing a nice strat here, checking these 2 chests first. Although, does the logic think that the bow's here? We're gonna find out.
Yes, they can be here, but you will get sufficient keys. So you can never key lock yourself. So he is in the full clear here and could be finding an item, but instead he's going to be granted access to the entire backside of pod here.
Yes, and that is where all the dungeons are. And I believe I've heard this dungeon called a nickname.
Not sure where he's going. He'll find himself unable to progress very shortly because he lacks a bow.
Yeah, what's he? Oh.
He figured it out. The red mimic in the following room can only be killed by arrows. The green mimics can be killed by sword hits, 8 of them. But the red mimics are bow only vulnerable to the bow. But luckily he figured it out before that.
Actually, the green mimics died at 1 slash of the tempered.
1 sword slash of the tempered? Wow, if you use sword beam on them, you have to hit them 8 times. But they have tempered, right? You're right.
What?
Oh, he accidentally mirrored instead of using a bomb. Oh boy.
And he's dropping bombs in frustration. That's not good. Keep the resources, man.
We've all been there, Justin. We've all been there, man. That mirror.
But he's going the way that'll let him just go straight up normally.
Yeah. In the meantime, while Justin is doing this, Smight is making his way to pod and will hopefully turn in that green pendant. Lest he not forget.
And we shall see that Justin's gamble paid off, because Justin did go up to Hera but did not clear it.
Yeah, this could be big. What if the green pendant gives the hammer right before pod?
There's the boots!
Oh, the boots! Okay, so that's now, ether unlocked.
Yeah, now they can get into...
Now they can get into Misery Mire.
Yes, and there's the key.
All right, here we go. Here we go, green pendant. What you got?
Just a heart piece. Justin's gamble paid off.
Wow.
It paid off big time.
Gamble paid off big, yeah.
He just grabbed the sword and got out, and that's all he needed.
But yeah, then we have a progression item. The boots will allow us to get ether, which will allow us to go into Misery Mire. And currently, Smight is ahead on that because he killed Aghanim. Justin has not yet. But they still have to do that. Yeah. So hopefully we'll find another progression item here. Otherwise, he's pretty much forced this a linear path straight up to Aghanim here. He only has 1. Did he check the chest over on the right, actually? I missed that.
He's not checked the big chest, and the big chest has the map.
The map.
So the boots are the only thing worthwhile. This is a forced double dip into pod.
Well, he checked the room below the turtles, right?
Yes, he did.
Ah, okay. Yeah, then that's it. Wow, what an evil seed.
At least I think he did.
I'm not sure. I didn't catch it, but he's going Aghanim.
In any case, Smight will probably check it, double check for us. But he's going to Aghanim with those boots in tow. He can get that Ether Medallion, and this is what he was waiting for. He wanted to make sure he can get the Ether Medallion as soon as he killed Aghanim.
Yeah, all signs are pointing at Misery Mire. We know there's stuff in there, and ether is required, and is Aghanim required? I beg to
differ.
Hmm.
The signs are pointing to Misery Mire, but that could be a wild goose chase.
Because you want them to go to Bonk Rocks and King's 2?
Yeah, because that's a safe check. I mean, Justice League can check those on the way to getting ether.
But they've checked so many Light World locations and none of them paid off. I mean, do you do it at this point?
The bow and the hammer are still at large, as well as Samarian Ice Rod. They have to find at least the hammer.
That's true.
There's too many. There's only 2 items at Desert, and we see that it was only 50 rubies.
It was only 50 rupees. That is actually a chest that I believe Justin did not check, but it didn't hurt him in any shape or form.
Yes, the boots here were the big thing to find.
Ah, yeah, the boots open up desert as well, actually, and the Lamolas. That is correct.
Right. There is a lot of places these boots open up, a lot more than we realize.
I'd beeline it for Misery Mire, and what a silly play that would be in hindsight with this information you've all given. That's true. I completely forgot about Punk Rocks and King's Tomb. You just get so fixated on that ether because of the agony requirement. But yeah, luckily,
The ideal routing here would be check King's Doom, check the Bonk Rocks, get Ether, and then do Desert and Mire respectively.
That would be ideal routing, yeah.
Let's just see if they actually do it, but in the heat of the moment, they might forget. They might blindly just go straight to Ether and not check those two locations, and that could bite them.
At this point, you can't blame them for it anymore, though.
No. Hour and 15 minutes in, and we are finally getting the Aghanim kill on Justin Z and access to Ether. Meanwhile, Smight, who already has finished this, is probably going to save and quit to Sanctuary. We'll see if he actually... We'll see if he actually goes straight to Ether or checks those locations first.
I think he will definitely check those locations, as you said. It wouldn't make a lot of sense if he didn't, yeah.
Yep, there he goes. He's going straight to Kingston first. There's actually a little bit of an interesting trick I've seen with that Kingston bonk.
Yeah, you can line yourself up sideways, hold out your sword, and just press the dash button on the right pixel once, and the tomb opens up.
Yeah, I also do it while pushing up towards it.
Okay.
So it only checks to see if you're starting a running, if you're in a running state. It doesn't actually have to have speed.
But yeah, it looks like King's Tomb did not pay off. We'll see if the Bonk Rocks will pay off or not. And outside of that, 2 locations are left after this. It's just a bottle. It's just a bottle.
Well, at least now they know that there has to be progression in Mire or Desert. And yeah, this is a forced double dip into Desert and a forced double dip into Pod. This is a very bad seed.
Yep. I would not wish this on my worst enemy. This has been quite evil.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
But there's Ether for Smight.
Yeah, we got it. We finally got it. We finally got it. Alright, Justin will be making the same plays here.
Smashed Ice Hockey was not agreeing with us. We are merciful, alright? Anyway, we're finally gonna see... Are we gonna see him finish Desert first, or... Yeah, he's going over Desert first. That's a smart play.
It's just making sure that Ether was indeed required for Misery Mire. At this point, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure what's what anymore. Just making sure. Did I kill Aghanim for a good reason? Yeah, I did. Okay. Whew.
And we saw this, and we saw the strat on Justin C's end. The bonkless opening of the King's Tomb.
It's a good strat. Here we got the big key opening up the big chest, plus access to Lamos, which is pretty important because this is a crystal dungeon, so they will have to kill them. And we got
a map, which
item
means
on the Lamos.
An item on the Lamos, and this could be, and this has this or something in.
That's either Lamos or Mire at this point. Yes.
Yeah, one of these 3 locations is gonna have progression. And given the amount of items left, it's a high chance it's actually the bow. Or not the bow, the hammer.
The hammer would open up the most locations right now. The sad thing is, the most prime location it would open up at this point is actually the 2 remaining items in Ice Palace. Which you have to wonder, do they have to go back there or not?
Well, more importantly, it opens up Swamp Palace with its 6 items.
Oh yeah, the definitely plays that they want to make first before going back to ice, but it will linger.
And if they find the bow, then that means that they can get the Fat Fairy.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, Pod and Swamp are the 5 and 6s in this one. All right, let's see what the Lambos have for us. Oh, really nice Fire Rod strats here. Does not get the one cycle, but it's one hit away from death.
Just
release your spin. There you go.
Missed.
Excellent Lambo kill.
The hammer!
We got the hammer! We got the hammer! There it was. Boots out of Pod to get the hammer. Are you kidding me?
It was a forced double dip regardless.
Wow. Do you even go into Misery Mire right now? What do you do?
I would say yes.
You have to.
Just get it done while you're here. Although they don't have Samaria.
I know. They can't finish, but they have to.
I would loot around Samaria at least. Make sure it's not a... Samaria's not in here.
Smite's gonna do it.
Yep,
he's gonna do it. It's a completely vanilla medallion seed, Ether on Misery Mire, and Quake on Turtle Rock, which is still a medallion we're looking for as well. Wow, this this is so evil. I love it.
Yes, they could go to Swamp Magalord, but they're right here. It just makes sense to at least check this area first.
Yeah, there's only 2 items here, and usually they're quick to find because the chests are all pretty close together. And making a quick beeline for the boss in this dungeon is not the worst. Much like Desert Palace, there's a pretty optimal route to get to him. So just getting this out of the way right now is definitely the right play here. Plus, they already had to double dip into Pod. Well, they're going to have to. So yeah, Misery Mire offering the same would not be unheard of.
I mean, the jet here would be Cadus Amari in this chest right now, and a big chest on the spike field.
I just really... Oh, no, no.
Well, the plus side is they at least have the boots, or the flute rather, so that's a quick enough check.
Oh boy.
And he's checking the item here. It's a small key, so I was wrong on both accounts.
That's one item out of the way.
Taking out the Lambos, getting their hammer.
Yeah. I'm curious to see if Justin will go make the play on Swamp or also dive into Misery Mire.
We shall see, we shall see.
Well, fingers crossed that mushroom does not lead into a Cane of Samaria, because that would be pretty evil.
People are trying to guess what the mushroom will have. Someone said Fire Rod, but we already have that. Ice Rod, on the other hand, is completely on the table.
That'd be good. You want to get that Ice Rod out of the way ASAP, because it's an item that can literally be anywhere. Granted, between the 2 runners here, they've checked every single location that is not hammer locked right now. Oh, it looks like Justin will actually make the play on Swamp here and not dip into Misery.
Yeah, that's probably a smart play because he doesn't have the means to finish it, whereas Smight is gambling.
Yeah. I still have a lot of respect for the Mire play, though. You know there's 2 items in here. It's a Crystal Dungeon. You know, the odds of Samaria being in here, which is actually something that I see a lot. You know, it's definitely something you can capitalize on, but we'll have to see what that second item is here in Misery Mire, if we can find it, if it's not on Vitreous.
It's gotta be on the right side at this point.
All right, he's got 3 chests left to check. One of them will be the big key, so essentially only 2 locations, but we'll see.
Yes.
There's that big key that I was talking about.
And I just quickly take those to the sprite list. Apparently, Smight is using someone called Unica.
Unica?
I have no idea either.
Okay. I gotta say, it looks like a really well done sprite.
Yes, I don't know what it's referencing.
That's from East Origins, apparently.
Ah.
All right, we got a 50-50 on the big key here. Or the big chest, sorry.
Small
No.
key.
Item on Vitreous.
Item on Vitreous. Oh my goodness. I've had this before. I'm gonna say it right now. What if Vitreous has the bow?
Yeah, it's happened plenty of times.
I hate seeds like that though, because bow is like the ideal way to fight him.
Yeah.
Smight is
Maybe-
checking in the mushroom. Smart play.
Maybe he's gonna find a cane of Samaria.
That would be really a jerk move for the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just 50 rubies.
Thankfully.
Just to get him out. Just a good payment for the search.
So the thing about dipping into Misery Mire here is that despite the full clear, they do have the big key for the next time around, so they can beeline it straight to Vitreous. Essentially, the time loss is not huge, depending on whether Justin hits go mode before going into Misery Mire, but I don't know what the odds for that are at this point.
Hang on, we have the silver arrows!
Oh!
Just off of the big chest in
we just need that
Swamp
bow.
Palace.
Nice. That's a good find. Temperate and silvers, that'll make an easy Ganon fight at least.
Now I'm just gonna say this just for... I'm absolutely calling the bow at Vitreous. Because the game does... At this point, the game doesn't want them to do anything easy.
Yeah, that is definitely the the red line that we're following here. Oh my.
This is a troll seed by any other means.
Yeah, you thought pendant seeds were trolly. Try this one.
Gambella, there was just an arrow booster on pedestal, not required.
Here we go. We get the two chests
Ice
from the
rod!
ice rod. Nice.
All right, so
Nice.
they are a Samari away from doing. Oh, well, also Quake. Almost forgot. From doing. Yeah, they only missing 3 items now.
Yeah. Oh, there's one item left only in Swamp here, which could be an Argus, which would mean that the entire left side is not required. That's pretty awesome, actually, if that were the case.
I would assume check it. Yeah, they probably would not check it if he doesn't find it. He has to. Because Hammer only opens up so much. As does find... Yeah, there was nothing in here, really.
So far, not much. Silvers, ice rod.
There's one item. That means there must be an item in ice.
Yeah, or
Or-
pegs. They haven't done that yet either.
Yeah, and if we want to go full troll, the Spike Cave also has...
Oh no, you did not just say that.
I did just say it.
Oh,
Focus
yeah.
on Margus, so that means there is an item on the left side.
Yep.
And I mean, to be honest, they do have the means to get to it. They have the cape, they have the hammer.
They can pretty much do it. Yeah, it's 3 bottles, half magic cape. I mean, the logic I believe only requires you to have 8 hearts and a bottle with a fairy in it.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but I believe that is whereabouts the logic would require you for it to put an item into Spike Cave. So it is in play indeed.
Yes, and they did have a fairy gifted to them.
Yep.
Justin C, unfortunately, has already wasted it. And Smight is checking left side first, so he will get this information a little bit sooner than Justin C would, but Justin C has already finished the dungeon. So at this point, I'd say Justin C is ahead by only by a hair. It really will come down to which locations these guys check first with their hammer.
I think both checked about the same amount of overworld locations as well, so there's not much of a difference here outside of Justin having killed Argus and not having done Tower of Hera in its entirety, which apparently wasn't required, obviously, as we know.
So yeah, that's the only time gain Justin Z has, and Smight is making up little bits of time here and there. So like I said, it will come down to where they decide to check first for their hammer locations.
Yeah, so far the last item in Swamp has not been found yet. Smite is about to find it, though, as he climbs up and drops down.
Justin C is right on their heels, though, so they'll find it almost right away after.
Yeah, looks like Smight decided to go for the full clear immediately.
Not a bad play considering what they're missing. And it's the King of Samaria!
Oh, wow, that one item, that is the cane. That is incredible.
And he's already partly cleared Hera, so... Or partly cleared Samaria. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a clean way leading straight up to Vitreous there for him.
Yeah, he can actually probably he's gonna go straight to Vitreous after this and finish that dungeon off. Meanwhile, Justin Z has yet to do Vitreous.
He's not been in Mire yet, so there's a slight
Justin
advantage.
does have the cane. Justin does have the cane, so...
He just picked it up. Yeah, he's going there. Or at least so, I imagine.
So it's all coming down to the overall location for Justin Z. He's not going.
What? Is he going to Hera? Oh, is he going to turn a rock? Does he not know about the Quake requirement?
I don't think he checked it, no.
Oh.
If he did, he forgot.
Now he's second guessing himself about Hera obviously still having one item plus that green pendant still being in play. Maybe he's going Spike though.
No, he's not.
No? Oh, poor Justin.
I mean, this is somewhat of a smart play because if it is Quake up here, which we know it's not, he can go straight into it. Oh, did he not check? He did not check Ether.
No, he didn't check Ether. I'm afraid he's going back into Hera.
He just blindly decided to check Ether.
Yeah, he's going back in. He regrets that decision, not going into the basement there, having only picked up the sword and immediately teleporting out.
And this is gonna give Smight the ability to catch up here.
Yeah, it all depends. It comes down to where is he going to turn in the green pendant on the way, or is he going to go out of his way to turn it in?
Both runners have checked pod, but they don't have the bow.
Yep.
So I don't think he's gonna check that pet medallion for a little while, but you can already see Smight taking care of Argus's first phase. 2 tempered spins will take care of Argus. And down goes the giant jellyfish. Meanwhile, Justin Z doing Resident Sleeper strats over there.
It is of the 30 seconds that you need the most in a race. It is
a nice input, Perky, though.
It is. Just being able to breathe for a moment there. Alright. Yeah, he will make the full Hera clear. He knows he's going to get the big key here and will go up.
Oh, Smight going to check Bombos because he wasn't in the light world or the dark world to do this, but it is a logical play. We know it's nothing good. It's just 20 or 50 rupees, but he can use this and go straight back to Mire and get that one last item.
Yeah, which at this point, he will have to recognize that that is the right play. You know, having been in Misery Mire already, he has the knowledge that there is only one item in the upper part, and the last item is in the basement, is on Vitreous. And he does have the option to kill him right now. Plenty of HP. Tempered Sword shouldn't be a problem, and he can beeline it straight there.
So the question I'm going to ask you now is, what strategy do you think he's going to use?
I think he is going to abuse the damage that you take from standing in the swamp and then just spin attacking the eyes.
I think he's going to do cape boot strats.
Oh, that would be so cool.
It is kind of cool because you activate the cave and then you just dash around. You can also do a little bit of a variation on him, which he does spins instead.
As you can tell, I'm not very imaginative. I'm a no major glitches runner, so I just blurt out the run that I do. Here goes Spike Cave.
Justin Z is checking Spike Cave. And just so you're aware, that is completely allowed.
Rip. 50 rupees.
It's not a glitch, it's a damage boost. And it's all well within the strategies. But yes, anyway.
But yeah, cape booth strats on Vitreous, that'd be pretty swaggy.
Yes.
Looks like Justin is going to make his play on Misery Mire as well with the cane in tow. He will not have to double dip, so that's at least a little bit in his favor. And they're he's kind of catching up at this point, I guess.
Well, keep in mind, he still has to dig around for that big key, and he doesn't know where the items are.
Yeah. All right, he's still behind on that regard. Plus, he's going to be led astray by the mushroom as well, which is not going to pay off.
So at this point, I would say that Smight is just barely ahead, but again, it can come down to a location on the overworld.
Yeah, depending on what Vitreous gives them here and what decision they make after, like who's going to be the first to go back into Ice Palace or who's going to do hammer pegs, it all depends on what item is where, which will pull whoever ahead.
And just a reminder for everyone, we are 2 items away from Goma. We need the bow and arrows.
Ah, look at that. He's using a combination of your and my strat here.
Yeah, he's doing spin strats.
But with the cape, as you said.
Yeah, that's one of the 2 variations of cave strats. The other one is the dash strat. And the dash strat's usually used with Butter Sword.
Ah,
Anyways.
okay.
So this cleans up the ice pretty nicely.
All right, let's see, Vitreous. It's a shield.
So not required there. That means, I believe that pot is the only answer, but they don't hit the bow.
Still hammer pegs and the few chests in Ice Palace.
Yeah. So.
What about Thief's Town? Was it? Oh no, wait. The big chest had the map, didn't it?
Yes, it did.
Ah.
So we've got a roller coaster of a seed here. Double dips all over the place. A forced agative. Stay tuned, guys. And make sure to follow these runners. They deserve it. This seed has not been kind to them at all. And they are putting it through, and they're fighting through it.
Yeah, they're definitely deserve your follow. I mean, especially with how they've been able to keep up here. Making these decisions based on what's happening and not choking is actually a huge quality, honestly. You could just as easily rage after figuring out that when that sword was there and the lantern was in Skullwoods that you're like, wait a minute, I'm being sent where? And these 2 runners have shown an absolute great understanding of the game and its logic and the randomizer in general. There's a reason they're obviously at this point in the tournament.
Yes, and once again, if Smight wins this, Justin Z is eliminated. Only 20 rupees at lumber at the peg cave.
So yeah, are you going to IP or not? Are you going to Ice? Are you going to do it?
Smight has not been in Ice Palace, but I think that's his most logical play.
They both have been in Ice Palace. They have both been there.
I think he's going to. I think he's going to Spike Cave.
Yeah, that's another good hammer location.
But we already know there's nothing there.
Nope.
And once again, you can see the effects of killing Aghanim with those Tektites not being there in the light world normally. The entire overworld enemy population is shaken up as a result. Funnily enough, the only place that's not left unchecked is, or not changed rather, is East Death Mountain.
Only the top part is. There is like some extra Tektites coming out of the Tower of Hera on the bridge.
Okay, yeah. But nothing past the Dark World locked areas.
Yeah. So is he gonna do it? Is he going to IP? Is he going to Ice Palace? I mean,
I would assume so. He's got nowhere else to check.
Yeah, they both have to double dip it at this point. Pendant Ice Palace.
Actually, I don't think Smight has ever been in Ice Palace, has he?
They both went to Ice Palace. Both of them got up to the point where they were hammer locked, I believe.
Oh,
so that's why they're so equal at this point.
So yeah, Smight is most definitely ahead right now. We'll see how far ahead going forward. And we also have to keep in mind that Armos still has an item. So if they find the bow first, they might have to kill Armos just for Quake.
That would be so mean. I wonder what they're gonna find here. I think, honestly, I think it's gonna be Quake. They gotta stop being.
If it's Quake, then it has to be Boa T-Rock. I mean, come on.
Yep. That's how it's gotta be. I mean, it is literally following the trend of this seed.
Yeah, Justin C is heading over to Vitreous. Meanwhile, Smight is on his way down towards the remaining hammerlocked items in this place. This is gonna be a roller coaster of a. This is a roller coaster of a seed.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I mean, just the Aghanim start alone was kind of interesting.
Yeah, the being taken out of the question pretty early, whether it was going to be required or not, was not going to be an indicator for how trolly it would end up being. Though I didn't think it would be, I didn't think it'd end up being this trolly. Oh, we got some dash strats going on just inside.
Yep. And for those of you tuning in order to fight Aghanim for Ether Medallion and get it, they had to go into 4 separate dungeons. Hera had the fighter sword. Thieves Town had the
cape.
The cape.
Skullwoods had the lantern.
And Pod had the boots.
Yep. It was pretty mean.
And the other two options they had for swords were Graveyard Ledge and Zor Ledge. And Mafula. There's Quake!
Yep, it's Quake. It's Quake. Oh, I'm so sorry.
The flippers for the Zor Ledge sword. That's what I was saying.
I can only hope for a bow here. Oh no!
It's the other item.
The bow is a Turtle Rock. Oh no!
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh no!
All right. So we are basically in pseudo go mode. Once we find that bow, we are in full go mode here. But we know that it is in Turtle Rock. The Smight more than likely is aware that it is in Turtle Rock.
Yep. Yeah, he still has to clear Pod after, sadly, so this is going to be a back and forth, and, yeah. It depends on what chest in Turtle Rock is going to have that bow at this point. That's what it's going to come down to.
Were all the pendulums required? Actually, yes!
What was it, EP again?
No, wait, Eastern Palace,
I don't think Eastern was required.
No, Eastern Palace didn't have anything, but...
It's been a full dungeon seed nonetheless. Both runners have gone everywhere.
Yes. Hera... Yeah, Eastern Palace didn't have anything. I remember now. The most important thing Eastern had was the Sank Heart, apparently, if I recall right. That's it.
Yeah.
But Hera had the first sword, and Ice Palace had Quake. So yeah, at least 2 dungeons were required. Eastern, ironically enough, was not one of them.
I just hope this seed will alleviate the pain a little bit by giving them the bow early so they don't have to full clear Turtle Rock and can just beeline it for Trinex.
And giving the turtle the back massage to open his mouth. Let us go into Turtle Rock, guys. The bow is more than likely in here. Smight is most definitely in the lead. Justice Z is now on ice and will be getting Quake soon enough.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing the game could do to lead them around at this point would be giving them a shovel, but it would still end up giving them the bow, so...
Yes.
This is the final play. This is it.
Yes. Both runners, or at least Smight is, someone called it no mode, because they know that the bow is in here. We know the bow is in here. I cannot call it go mode just yet because we don't officially have it, but it has to be here. It has to be. We've checked everywhere that's not bow locked in Pod and Eastern.
Yep. Everything was checked. Everything. Pegs, bat, you name it. This is I believe, a 100% completed seed, pretty much. Outside of the Fat Fairy.
Yes, and the Fat Fairy cannot have the bow because that's required for Pod.
Exactly. So it's out.
And they have the cave, so Laser Bridge could have it. And we see the big key.
In fact, the game's been giving them 2 shields, so it's very likely that the Laser Bridge actually has it. Which would be kind of mean because it means they'll also clear Mimic Cave, they'll stop by the big chest and all that. That's why I'm saying I hope they get it early. I really hope they do. How about right here? How about right here?
With 2 keys, the chain tower could have it, and the chain towers are kind of deadly.
How about right here? How about the chain chomps having the bow? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's give these runners a little bit of ease the suffering here.
No, it's a piece of heart. It does get Smight a full heal. Oh, that's where the Sanctuary Heart was last time. It was in that chest. After they got bit by the chain chomps, no less, a couple times.
That's a perfect location. Yeah, those chain chomps do a lot of damage.
Yeah. 6 whole hearts with green tunic, if I recall right. Second highest damage source in the game.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Well, the first one's Ganon, obviously.
Yeah, you don't want to touch him. You don't want to give him a hug. I mean, he's a great hugger, but you know.
He wants to give you hugs. Don't let him. And that is an interesting bunny sprite. I don't quite get it.
I have no idea. I am very curious about this sprite now. Another piece of heart. Come on!
And meanwhile, Justin Z is now opening up the turtle. We'll go inside. This is a race. Smight has about maybe a 3-minute lead on Justin Z, but we shall see.
Yeah, it still comes down to the decisions that they will make in Ganon's Tower and their fights respectively in it. And obviously how fast they will both be able to beeline it through Pod. Alright, here comes the Mimic Cave.
Is it going to be checked? It is literally the last overworld spot they have to check, so will not be surprised here. And you'll see the quickness that is the Fighter Sword strats or not Fighter Sword, Tempered Sword strats on these. And as you can see, yes, only 1 attack.
Really, really nice strats there.
And another heart piece!
That's 3 heart pieces in a row. Come on. Come on.
It's gonna be at the end of Laser Bridge at this point.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, the game's been giving them shields. It's very likely for it to be there. Oh, yeah, sure. Why don't give them Cave of Burnout right now? Yeah, fill up that tracker right there.
Turtle Rock is loved by this seed.
This has to be a key.
Yes, and that means Laser Bridge is required. They do have a cave, thankfully, so they can get behind the lasers.
Yep.
And that is part of the logic, by the way. You need either an invincibility item or the mirror shield to get those items.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to actually find the mirror shield on the Laser Bridge here, seeing as they already have the level 2 one.
Yeah. And we're just now getting to Laser Bridge.
Oh,
First item is the bow! We already got one!
There it is. There's the bow. Oh my word.
And there's
the mirror shield. And the mirror shield and the bow. And the last chest has the key. That is a 100% completed Turtle Rock. Wow.
The only thing we don't know is where
the Butter Sword.
The Butter Sword and the Red Mail. These players have been running on blue.
Right. Right. Oh my.
Don't have the shovel or the bug net, not that we need them. I think bug net was on floating island. I didn't quite see.
It was. Buckner was a floating island. What a seed. I gotta hand it to these guys. They did it for as good as they could. This is yeah, 1 hour 49 minutes go mode. That is so mean.
This was a garbage seed.
Yeah, you could just outright call it that. Yeah, I completely agree with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a garbage emote I have in the chat. There we go.
Yeah, this is the kind of seed that chat always wants to see with their pedestal and whatnot. Well, look at this. You got a non-pedestal required seed that is going to go easily over 2 hours.
Yes.
Yep.
The someone is calling it this is a shade seed. I'm calling it a proton garbage seed. Just a generic garbage seed. And I'm seeing a few more Proton John's emote in the chat. Oh. But yes, Trinex has been defeated. And we have one crystal left again, and that is the one in Pod. Smite's in go mode. Let's see where that is.
Yeah, with Silver's in tow, he'll make short work of everything here right now, but do they think they're ahead? Do they think they're behind? It's a really cool feature of these races is that neither runner knows where they are, so they can feel really pressured to feel behind or ahead at any point in the game.
Yes.
And at this point, both of them will feel like they're immensely behind because they've been going on for this long, and the entire logic has been sending them from dungeon to dungeon with not being much, not much left to the imagination. In the overworld, sadly, we had but I think it was a sword and what else? Not a whole lot. Most of the required stuff has all been coming out of dungeons, and you've checked so many overworld locations that came up empty. You have to start wondering.
Overworld locations were swords.
The Flipper's Ledge and the Graveyard Ledge. So you are probably constantly asking yourself, hey, I've checked so many locations. I've nearly 100% of this seed. When is that done happening? And obviously, up until that point, you cannot give up. You have to keep going. And in this scenario, they're even kind of, not entirely, but kind of tied. So,
yes.
Yeah.
The other thing they have to keep in mind is the fact that how many of these dungeons has both runners double dipped in.
That as well.
I think that the only dungeon they haven't double dipped or needed a double dip was Turtle Rock. Hera technically does not need to be double dipped. Thieves Town.
Yeah, Misery Mire could be completed the first time through as well.
Yeah. So they had a double dip. They had a double dip Pod. They had a double dip Skull Woods. They had a double dip Desert.
All right, the flute, yeah.
Just a lot of trolls here and there and everywhere.
Yeah, then there was the voluntary double dip into Ice Palace, but both players made that play. For both players, it did not pay off. But Justin cleans up his Trinex fight nicely. Might actually, hopefully not turn in his mushroom. He's just going to buy some blue potions. That might give him an edge, depending on how good Smight is on the Ganon fights. I imagine with the Tempered Sword and the Silver Arrows, this shouldn't be a problem for either runner, but
yeah,
having that blue potion is always a nice safety net.
And thank you for the vid, Psych Eyeball. Apparently, we've hit affiliate status here on Link to Best Randomizer.
Nice.
I did not know that, so again,
Thank you for your support. All right, here we go. Helmassar for Smight.
Yes, and once the Helmasaur is done, we'll begin that game we know so well.
He's not gonna switch to silvers. He'll just use his temper to make short work of him. It's 1 spin attack and 2 regular attacks.
Or 2 spins. Either
And he goes down.
And compass on him. Alright, folks, we're about to head up to Ganon's Tower, and we have 22 item locations to check. Only one of those, though, is the big key they need to ascend Ganon's Tower and fight Aghanim 2 and finish the game. Where is it? Where? Put your guesses in chat.
What do you think it's going to be?
I usually say the compass chest, which is the one that spawns the pits on the right side. So if they go there first, it'll be chest 6. If they go left, it's chest 21.
I really want to ease their pain here. I'm gonna say it's gotta be on the torch.
On the torch. All right.
It's gotta be on the torch. Just you know, just to give them a little bit of like, hey, you've done enough. Here you go. You don't have to go through the entirety again. It's sour. Here you go.
We're seeing some Bob chests. We're seeing I saw someone say tile room. These guys have suffered enough.
Yeah, tile room. Come on. No mercy. No. Wow, that turtle room. Wow, that was amazing what Justin just pulled off there.
Yeah, pretty clean room there. Justin Z doing classic strats. Not even pulling out the swords and keep their facing. There he goes. He's doing it now.
We're gonna see the insta kill here from the silver arrows. Nice job.
And he does a very nice trick there in which he held his spin. He stored his spin when entering the pause menu, so he didn't spin his attack coming out of it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty tricky to do because if you go into the menu and you hold that button, you can't move the cursor around. So you need to be, you need to know what you're doing.
You need to release the button, switch to your item, and then hold the button down before you close the menu.
Yep. All right.
Here we go. Here's the first 2 chests. 20 rubies.
Big 20 and
That small key is Smight going right.
Going right. He's going right.
Going right.
This could mean that if the key is on the left side and Justin goes there immediately, that gives him a little bit of time to actually catch up here, depending on if the right side pays off or not.
Well, last time Smight did not go all the way to Ice Armos. He went to the 4 chests coming up here in the next few rooms, and then went straight to left side.
Okay.
So we'll see if he does that this time.
There we go. The quadruple chest. We got a piece of heart.
The map. The shovel.
A shovel. All right, let's
And
dig
a
up
piece
that
of
big
heart.
key. It's not on the right side unless it's in the tile room.
Nope.
So let's go dig up that Ganon's big key, shall we?
No, it's not Key Sandy. Sorry.
All right, here we go. Is it gonna be on the torch? Come on, be on the torch. Come on. Oh, it's butter! It's butter on the torch.
That's
nice.
gonna be really good.
Nice.
So now we know where all 4 swords are. That'll be a nice gift to climb the tower with.
Butter and silvers. I mean, that's a free Ganon fight at least. See, there's a little bit of mercy in this seed.
Yes. I mean, if it was truly merciless, it would be silverless. This master sword.
Oh,
And there's the
wow.
red mail.
The red mail too. Nice.
And then the big
And the big key. There you go. Butter, red mail, big key. What a nice Ganon's tower. I wish all Ganon's towers were like this.
All right, so that means we know where everything is except for the 4th bottle, I think.
Yeah, we're just missing that one bottle. Yeah.
So yeah, Smight beginning his ascent to Ganon's tower.
Has to deal with 2 rooms of red mimics. They'll go down pretty quickly. And we'll see if he does a little bit of a strat here that I personally like doing.
Looks like Justin is going to the left side, by the way, not going right side, so that buys him a little bit of time. At this point, it all comes down to execution here.
But the question is, will he open the chest the same way Smight did? Because if he goes left, if he goes clockwise, starting from lower left, he'll miss the mail.
I don't think he needs it. He bought some blue potions.
And
He'll be fine.
And Smight is doing my little trick. He jumped. He took damage there on purpose. Yeah, he's opening the chest in the counterclockwise. Clockwise.
Yeah.
And he's going to miss the red mail. So he's gonna have just a slightly more difficult Ganon fight. If he takes a little too much damage, he could die.
He's got 2 blue potions. He'll be fine.
Yeah, 2 blue potions with blue is fine.
On that note, though, Smight does still sit on the ferry, I believe.
Oh yeah, you're right. He does have that fairy, and he also has powder, so getting some help here will not be too much of an issue.
Yeah.
Choosing to ignore for now and gets a nice Lambolas rematch.
Really good fight.
And most of you are probably thinking, why are they leaving the spikes there in that Igor room? Or rather, the crystal switch like they are? It's because of something in the next floor, which I will point out when we get there.
Plus, if you're really fast, you can kind of ignore it anyway. You can dash straight past everything.
And a clean Wizrobe
Excellent Wizrobe room. Excellent.
Pretty much textbook right there.
Yeah. Just to get a little bit trolled here by the red skeletons. Oh, Smight fell down.
Smight have enough time here.
Oh, looks like a fairy might come into play here.
No, it's not. Because of what I said earlier. So up here on this floor, there is a anti-fairy and a bunny beam just before the Trolldorm fight. Because he left that Igor switch the way they did, those two will be very close together and more than likely will hit by the same powder throw. And thus you'll get most of your, if not all your health back.
Ah, that's pretty clever.
And there's a full magic right here, so
there
it's
you
not
go.
really
Yeah. It's a free blue potion.
more or less, yeah.
All right, let's see how Moldorm treats him. It should only be a quick 2 hits. There we go. And he's on his way to agging him. 2 hours and 2 minutes in.
And getting one last heart piece for the road.
we hadn't had enough of those already.
So I just want to play one last little game here. It's not, there's no prize for it, but what do you think Ganon's gonna say when we meet him?
I think he's gonna talk about how he loves burritos.
I'm gonna go with don't stand so close to me. You know, a classic. But yes, Smight doing agging him too. Not much difficult here.
He's getting good patterns, but he's getting a little bit of trouble by agging him himself, throwing those blue balls at him.
And it looks like he's just about done. There's Aghanim 2 down,
Nice.
and it's time to fight the pig.
The final fight. Let's go. I believe these runners deserve to type their done and get their well-deserved rest after a seed like this.
Oh, that no question. I mean, this could come down to Ganon, Smight falling at Ganon, and this could go to a game 3 as a result. It's that close.
That's true. They are that close.
And it is! Don't stand!
No,
don't stand so close to me!
Don't stand so close to me.
I called it!
Nice.
Wow,
Look at that butter sword doing work here. Already in the fire bat phase.
Yes. 6 slashes per phase here.
That's all it
Just
takes.
Tanking that damage. He knows he has the fairy. He'll be absolutely fine going in. Now the only thing is the teleport phase is going to be kind of annoying, but he knows his opponent will get the same RNG.
Yeah, the Aghanim fights and the Ganon fights are both the same for both runners. The only difference would be if one of them falls down and gets into the fight again. Technically, though, if the other one would have the same effect, they would also end up on the same RNG, but it's not the same as the first time. But yeah, Silver Arrow, number 1. There's only 3 more that he needs. And that's 2 of them. And that's the last one.
Double. He gets it, and
nice.
Has finished.
That's a GG to Smight.
GG to Smight, guys.
It looks like he finished with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 5 minutes, and 29 seconds.
And with the comment of ARG in the chat. I will ask him if he wants an interview.
Yeah, I can only second that ARG. All right, looks like Justin has switched the hammer strats here to Aghanim to show you that he can be done in multiple ways, but with the sword.
Yes. Unfortunately, this is Justin Z's last match of the tournament. He is eliminated. Smight will be moving on. And we have Smight in the waiting room.
But he did not go down without a fight.
Yes, this was very close.
Saltarello.
Saltarello.
Very appropriate.
So we're just waiting for Smight to get in here for his interview. Congratulations on your win, Smight, on this really bad seed.
Congratulations, man. This is the best non-pedestal Aghanim seed ever.
This is one of the worst seeds I've ever played. Thanks.
Yeah. The simple fact that there was 4 different dungeons to find everything you needed to fight Aghanim was just insane.
I made some really bad calls. Like I had the fire on. I really wanted to do Skullwoods, and I thought to myself, I know where one sword is, and there's 3 more. I'll just wait. I'll just hold off on that. And I never found one. It took me another 30 minutes.
Yes, you did eventually find. You all eventually did find all the swords, and Justin Z is actually fighting Ganon right now. That's how close this race was.
Yeah, you were actually pretty much following in each other's footsteps, with no single person being clear on whether you were ahead or behind, which was a good watch, though. By the way.
Yes, it was indeed.
When I saw one of the swords in Tower of Hera, I felt like I really messed up. I felt like he probably found that one really fast. As soon as he got the mirror, maybe.
Just to see a little bit of swag and finishing with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 24 seconds. GG to him as well.
GG.
Give it up for these runners. I will see about getting Justin Z in here for an interview.
Yeah, let's see if we can add him in as well. I mean, you both had to go through this hell of a seed. I don't think I've ever witnessed anything as trolly that did not require the pedestal, honestly.
And the seed saying to Justin, thank you, your quest is over. How fitting for him in his last match of the tournament.
I think if the pedestal had something on it, it would have been less annoying, because then at least I'd have an idea of what to do.
Hmm.
Yes, unfortunately it was just an air boost this seed. We were contemplating that. We were also contemplating the fact that you had the book right away and you never checked it.
I checked it when I did Skullwoods. I figured that was a good time.
Yeah, we were kind of expecting you to, as soon as you picked up that book, to just go straight there because it was but 2 logs away. But neither of you did.
I
You
like
both checked it about the same time in your routing.
I like Skullwood so much that I always try and do it there.
Yes, and GG to Justin Z.
Hey, thank you, and GG Smight, great job.
Good game. Welcome,
Yeah, man.
welcome to running seeds with me. They're all like this.
After yesterday, which I mean, really, for all intents and purposes, was pretty jetty. I guess we deserved this one.
Yeah, that was one of the better seeds I've ever seen. This is more standard.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm curious just how much our routes differed from each other.
More or less, you guys just checked each other's footsteps throughout the seed, and
man.
and Smite just ended up pulling ahead. I think the main difference was did Smite check? Sorry, did you check Spike Cave?
Yeah, I did.
Alright.
Last. Very last thing I did.
Pretty darn close to last for me too. So
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the
Going
biggest
ice.
differences that you guys went through was the late Hyrule Castle check from Smite, I believe, and the early Ice Palace from Justin. Both of you actually went in there early without that hammer. That
Yeah.
was that was heartbreaking to see that.
well, you know, eventually you just start running out of ideas, and it's like, well, yeah, I've only got in half this dungeon really, but well, a little more than half, but given V26 and V27, you just kind of got to make that play sometimes.
I've learned the lesson not to go into Ice Palace without the hammer, but I was so trapped that I felt
yeah.
like I had to do something.
No,
I-
so you know just how I felt too.
I have one question for both of you though. What was the reasoning behind delaying Aghanim for so long as you did after you found the sword even, and the access to go into his tower to get the pyramid and the catfish and the pot check out of the way?
I wanted to get the green pendant so I could turn that in while I was over there. So I just went up to Tower Hera real quick.
Yeah,
So I'm really frustrated at that point. I just wanted to turn in everything at once.
that makes sense. I was trying to not do Aghanim till I had the boots, and I knew I was going to get Ether and advance with the seed. So we got the flippers in Skull. It kind of became redundant because you could get over there without Aghanim. So it just seemed to me like, well, I don't know, I would be making the overworld enemies harder. I would be getting myself stuck in the dark world if I saved and quit and have to that when I restarted. So just kind of for little time saving reasons, but ultimately, yeah, I mean, obviously the right side was pretty important eventually.
I just I knew Ether was the reward. I just didn't feel like there was any reason to go for it early because I couldn't get it anyway. I just wanted to be as loaded as I could
Yeah.
be.
Exactly.
That definitely makes sense. I just, from commentator's perspective, obviously I had both feeds. I could see where you guys cleared, so it's not fair for me to draw these conclusions that the seed was pointing you to pod. But you know, I was like, when are you going to pull out this nail? You know, just ease the pain, get it done. But yeah, both of you played it pretty late, and it was good to see though in that regard that you both kind of chased the same idea of, hey, you know, the boot's got to be somewhere because Desert was boot locked, and the Ether Pendant obviously was booth, or the medallion was booth locked. But you both made a great race out of it nonetheless. It was a very good execution on both sides as well. It was very impressive to see.
Yeah,
thanks.
a lot of double dips in here, so get out. Congrats to all of you. And real quick, we do have a subscription from Marco. It's just subscribe to Twitch Prime. Thank you for your support. We are starting to get this channel going. But yes, also give these runners a follow. These guys deserve it.
They
This
do.
was-
Give them a follow. Do it.
Yes, and shout outs to our tracker Flappykins and our restreamer Ryutech. This has been a great seed. This has been a really good run. Actually, I say that, but no, this is really a good seed to watch. Wasn't good for these runners.
Yeah, it's true. If you start to race in these, especially these tournaments, all those wishes for really trolly seeds that you laid on other runners in the past, it seems like that haunts you.
Yeah, it haunts you pretty bad.
I think you more than paid your karma debt here with this seed. Honestly, I think your next 10 seeds are going to be the fastest you've ever played.
Well, hopefully me and Smight. I said early in the group stage that I had been pretty fortunate, and then just first straight out of the gate, in the knockout rounds, come against not just a good runner, but a good runner that's clearly on his game right now. So
Yes, Smight
hope
is.
to keep this up.
Well,
Yes,
thanks for the matches. They were good. And I'm just glad my mic was muted, or I would have had to take off my positivity tag. I was really screaming at stuff that was going on there.
That's why I don't have that one. I just, it's like, come on, you're playing Randomizer.
So I actually don't know who you're going up against next, Smight. Are you kind of nervous going forward?
Yeah, I'll be all right. Let's do my best. I don't really know some of the runners that in my bracket. I know a Clifford. He helped commentate one of my tournaments with me.
Yeah, and
I
I've
don't know if I'll be up
also been
against him or not.
commentating with Clifford before. So yeah, I think we should wrap it up here.
Any final words? Anything to add?
I've never played against either of those two, so I'm looking forward to seeing how it goes.
And yeah, just GG to Smight and carry the banner, man. Hope you go far.
So this has been Link to the Past Randomizer for this tournament. Next on the speed gaming, or on the tournament rather, I should say. Almost messed up. Later today at 7 o'clock we have Phyleon versus KI Aliens for their third race, their tiebreaker race. So on this channel right here. And that's it for secondary matches, actually.
I believe currently on the Speed Gaming main channel there is a race ongoing. If I'm reading the schedule right, it's between Andy and McLagging.
Yes, and then later tonight also on Speed Gaming, we will have Bing Dunga and Monarchy 85. So a lot of races here. So stay tuned for more Randomizer tonight. And make sure to give a Link to the Past Randomizers 1 through 4 a follow. We're getting subs now, so that's really amazing. So thank you all for the support.
Yeah, once again, thank you for obviously supporting everything, and yeah, once again, shout outs to the runners, Justin, Smight, great job, guys. Give these guys a follow; they deserve it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Yes, I have been Will 307 and for Flappykins and the Reach Review Tech, we'll see you all next time, and thanks for watching. Later, folks.